Hi, my name's Frank, and this here is my 2020 Audi S5 in Turbo Blue. I've been daily driving it for just over a year now, and I figured what better way than to start a YouTube channel than to show you exactly what it costs to run a German car like this. So I'm going to break down all of the mods I've done to it, how much I paid for it, and of course the maintenance surprises that arise with owning a German performance coupe. So if you're looking to buy an S4, S5, or anything in this segment, I hope this video, by the end of it, you'll understand what it takes to own and run one of them and make a better decision on what you may purchase in the future. So with that said, let's get into it. So I have a bunch of numbers on my phone I'm going to recite, and in the corner of this video there's going to be an ongoing tally of how much I've spent on this car so far. So to start, this car cost $42,000 at an Audi dealership. It was a CPO, so it did come with a year warranty after I purchased it. It still had a couple months of its factory warranty on it as well. So I think it was 18 months of warranty total on this car. I traded in to purchase this car a 2018 Tesla Model 3 with 83,000 miles on it. The car was worth $16,500, and the Tesla had a loan balance left on it of $6,500. So $10,000 in equity went towards the down payment on this car. On top of that $10,000, I paid an additional $15,000 cash on the car, and that brings my payment per month on this car to $397. So in the past year, I've paid $4,764 in loan payments to own this car. Insurance. So in Alabama, which is where I live, insurance full coverage costs me $140 per month. So for the past year, I've paid $1,680 in insurance. Registration for this car costs $400 per year. So I've paid $400, and my renewal is at the end of this month. So that's how much it costs to walk out of the dealership with this car. Next, I'm going to go over all of the modifications I've done so far. We're going to start here at the rear of the car. So on the top, I have a carbon spoiler from Carbon Imports. This one costs $395. And next, we have the black badges. Although this car came with the black optics package, the rings, the emblem, and the front ring were not black. They were silver from the factory. So I ordered a replacement set, and that costs $87 for all three of them. Then on the car, actually the first thing I did on it was I put tints on it. So it has 30% all around, and those cost $348. On the sides of the car, the door handles were replaced with black ones, which were OEM from Audi. The reason I did this is because the paint matched turbo blue handles were actually, the paint chipped and was peeling. So instead of just getting paint matched new ones, I decided to go black. I think it looks way better on the car anyway. So those were $168. And then finally, for exterior mods, I recently installed a Carbon Imports front lip, and that cost $619. So adding all of that up, I've spent on exterior mods alone $1,947. So next, let's talk about handling. From the factory, the car has a lot of body roll, so I went ahead and purchased a rear sway bar from 034 Motorsport. That was $328. While I was doing that modification, I also purchased a set of subframe inserts, and those were $207. Since the sway bar has to come out to be replaced, the subframe inserts are readily accessed, so it's just better to do those at the same time. Next, I installed a transmission insert that was also from 034 Motorsport, and that was $93. And finally, for the front, I didn't buy a sway bar. I ended up just going with a strut brace. So that was $441, and that was 034's billet strut brace. From factory, this car comes with an active exhaust, so it has open and closed valves. From factory, it's still quite quiet with the valves open, so I went ahead and purchased a resonator delete. That was from 034 Motorsports. With install, that cost $407. And here, I'll put in a clip of the car with the exhaust. Moving on to performance mods, I have purchased a ECS carbon fiber intake, and that was $684. Paired with that, I also purchased a 034 turbo inlet. Those cost $135. So in total, performance-wise, I've spent $819. So this is kind of the big one if you're looking to get into the B9 or B9.5 platform. This car, when I purchased it, had 14,000 miles, and at 28,000 miles, the water pump failed. This is a very common issue with the EA839 engine. Most of the time, the water pump fails within the 45 to 50,000 mile range. So mine failed, obviously, well before that. Luckily, I was covered under my CPO warranty, but when I took it to Audi to get service done on it, they actually tried to deny the coverage due to the fact I had an aftermarket turbo inlet on the car, claiming outside influence, and that was the reason the water pump failed. Obviously, if you have ever worked on a car, that makes no sense. The turbo inlet has no relation to the cooling system within this vehicle. So after a little bit of back and forth, Audi did end up going ahead and covering it for me. But they tried to stick me with a $5,500 repair bill to fix that issue with the car. So if you're looking to get into this platform, either make sure you have a warranty, you're mechanically inclined, or check and see if the water pump has been serviced on this vehicle. It would be the water pump, the thermostat, as well as the vacuum lines. Because once the water pump fails, water will enter the vacuum system and take out the entire vacuum system with it, solenoids, and the vacuum reservoir. So be prepared. That's why this costs so much and why it was $5,500. At an independent shop, it'd probably be around half of that, but make sure to budget that if the car doesn't have a warranty. So the final mod for this car was a new set of wheels and tires. The wheels are a 19 by 9.5, and the tires are a 275 35 19. So for the wheels, I paid $1,404 for them. And the tires, I paid $768.93. So the total for them is $2,172.93 for wheels and tires. That brings, for the total mod cost on this car, I paid $6,084.88. Now that we're done talking about the mods I've done to this car, let's move on to the driving costs. So to start, we're going to talk about fuel. I've driven this car 14,000 miles since I've purchased it. Gas around here is around $3.06 per gallon. I average around 23 miles per gallon. So we're going to say I've spent $1,860 in fuel in the past year. Maintenance-wise, I've only had to do 2 oil changes on this car. Each one is $105 each, so we're going to factor in $210 in oil changes. In closing, how much have I spent on this car in the past 12 months? The number here says $29,998.93. That's how much I've spent. Should you consider buying one of these cars, whether it be an S4 or an S5? My personal recommendation is yes. These cars are incredible to drive, they handle super well, the styling looks wonderful, and of course they come with Audi's famed Quattro all-wheel drive system, so you can use it in any climate. Additionally, you can find these for a bit less than their other brand counterparts from BMW or Mercedes, and they have very similar tuning potential to those platforms. I know you can tune these cars up to about 800 horsepower if you want to go crazy. But as is, they are perfectly acceptable for daily driving and spirited driving as well. And I would recommend honestly doing handling mods first before adding power, just because of the body roll issues I mentioned earlier. So, if you liked or learned something from this video, please consider subscribing and sharing to others who may be interested in getting into a German sports car in this price range. Follow along for more. I'm going to hopefully share more about my journey owning this car, and I hope you enjoyed. So, thank you.